So you're a product leader, and you're trying to turn your team from a feature factory into a real value-creating engine. You know how tough that can be, right? Well, today, we're going to break down a really powerful framework to help you do exactly that, focusing on outcomes over outputs. Let's start with this quote from Josh Seiden because it just nails it. An outcome is a change in human behavior that drives business results. It's not about the code you ship, it's about the customer behavior you change. Does your work actually make people do something different, something that helps them and helps the business? Answering that question, well, that's the key to unlocking real impact.
So why is this shift so critical? It's because most of us, at some point, get stuck in what's called the build trap. It's a place that feels super productive, but often it just isn't.
Okay, picture your last quarterly review. Your team's getting all this praise. And why? Because you're moving fast, you're shipping code, you're hitting deadlines, and those velocity charts, they look fantastic. Activity is high, and man, it feels like success. Your roadmap is just this beautiful sea of green. Every single feature you committed to is shipped. Check, check, and check. Management's happy because, hey, the plan is being executed flawlessly. On the surface, everything looks absolutely perfect. But then you look at the numbers that actually matter. Revenue, retention, market share, and they're flat. Maybe customer churn is even ticking up a little bit. And the product itself? It's just getting bloated with all these features that nobody seems to be using. You're winning every single battle, but you're losing the war. If any of this is hitting a little too close to home, it's not just you. This is an incredibly common problem. You've basically built a world-class feature factory, an organization that's amazing at producing software, but not necessarily at creating value. The good news? There is a way out. And that way out is a framework called the outcome spectrum. Think of it like a diagnostic tool, okay? It's a way to see where your team is today and then chart a course toward creating some real, meaningful impact. So here's the big idea. We're totally redefining success. It's no longer about the output, the feature itself. It's about the outcome, that measurable result that the feature creates in the world. We're shifting from asking, did we ship it, to did it work? Now, this spectrum has 4 stages. It starts with being purely output-focused. That's the build trap we talked about. Next, you might focus on traction, so basic feature usage. But the real goal is to get to stages 3 and 4, where you're driving measurable product outcomes and, ultimately, business outcomes. Let's dig into what each of those actually looks like. Just notice how the guiding question evolves as a team matures. An output-focused team is always asking, what are we going to build? But an outcome-focused team asks, how can we improve the business? And that right there reflects a huge mindset shift. From our job is to ship software to our job is to solve customer problems in a way that grows the business. To make this real, just imagine an e-commerce site. An output-focused team says, we'll build a related products feature. A traction-focused team wants to increase clicks on that feature. A product outcome team works to increase the percentage of users adding a related product to their cart. And a business outcome team? They're measured on increasing the average order value. See the difference? And this is where it all comes together. This is the ideal partnership. Leadership provides that high-level business goal, like increase quarterly revenue. Then the product team figures out a specific customer behavior they can change to drive that goal, like increase the weekly user retention rate. This creates perfect alignment, and it empowers the team to find the best possible solution. Okay, so the theory makes a ton of sense. But how do you actually do this? How do you move your team along that spectrum? Well, it all starts by changing the conversation. The old conversation is all about timelines and deliverables. When's it going to ship? Is it on schedule? The new conversation is all about value and impact. What outcome are we trying to drive here? How are we going to know if we succeeded? This one single change forces everyone in the room to think differently. And to make this new conversation stick, you have to change the system underneath it. First, audit your success metrics. What do you actually celebrate? Second, you've got to shift your roadmap from a list of features to a list of customer problems to solve or outcomes to achieve. And this is huge. It means you're committing to goals, not to specific solutions. And finally, you have to adjust your incentives. Start rewarding teams for moving a metric, not just for shipping on time. Now, I know this can all sound like a really big change, and it is, but you can start tomorrow. Here's your clear, actionable takeaway. In your very next meeting, I don't care if it's a stand-up or a planning session, when someone proposes a new feature, I just want you to ask these 3 simple questions. What outcome is that for? How will we measure it?
and what behavior has to change for that to happen. This is it. This is how you start to plant the seeds of an outcome-oriented culture.
So I'll leave you with this one last thought to reflect on. Go take a look at your team's roadmap for the next quarter. Is it a list of things to build, or is it a list of customer problems you intend to solve? The answer to that question will tell you exactly where you are on the journey from outputs to outcomes.